Healthy mind pills. To live is very different from just knowing. Real knowledge has to become life. Knowing has to become being. We are born wedded to the body. It is impossible to not give importance to it, but you must know exactly how much importance. The great man works extremely vigorously, but the vigor is not for his own sake. That vigor is simply compassion towards everybody. Leave contentment for a later stage. At this point, rebel and rise. See what confines you and do not accept it. Fight it out and do not bother too much for the result. This is the way to live life. Live it so intensely that in the end you are left with no energy to be concerned with the result. Watch your deeds not because deeds are of primary importance, but deeds are a method to reach the doer. Real knowledge is not a specific activity, it is something that is happening in the background of your other activities. It's a great joy to intelligently gather stuff from the world and use it to dismantle the mental prison the world has used to captivate you. The acknowledgement is the problem. The ego hates to acknowledge that it's in a bad condition, and when you acknowledge bondages, then the energy for liberation arises concurrently. Born small, you contain infinity in your heart, and you cannot ignore either of these. In fact, they are not two. The way to infinity passes through all your littlenesses. You are taught to be social, but you have never been taught the meaning of relationship. Only two free minds can really relate to each other. Slaves don't relate to each other. Two conditioned minds don't relate to each other. Pain doesn't come for no reason. Pain comes so that you know that you are not living rightly. Acknowledge pain and be more loving and sensitive towards yourself. You don't need to live a life of suffering. Loneliness, going by its habits, its ways, end up getting disappointed again and again, but because there are infinite number of objects, hence what always remains is at least a mathematical probability that something else might satisfy me.